Good morning, second grade. This week we are going to read a book called Introducing Asia. Okay, so we have been reading a lot of fictional text, and now Introducing Asia, this looks like it's going to be a nonfiction text. Now, nonfiction text, remember they teach us real information, some real facts, right? And it uses text features instead of story elements. So some of our text features include a cover page, and look, what's this? This is a table of contents, right? A table of contents shows us a preview of what we're going to learn in the text ahead. So I know the title is Introducing Asia, so it looks like I'm going to learn about Asia, famous places, geography, weather, animals, plants, natural resources, people, culture and sports, countries, countryside and cities, fun facts, quizzes, glossary, find out more, index. So some words are in bold like this. You can also find out what they mean by going to the glossary. Oh, those bold words, what are those called? You guys remember what that text feature is, those bold words? Keywords, right. So keywords are going to be words that are important to understand our text. Keywords, if they're unknown to us, we can also go look in our glossary. Our glossary is kind of like a dictionary, and it can be found on page 30. It tells us what the definition of those unknown words are or what they mean. So that can help us better understand what our story is talking about. So we're going to read this book called Introducing Asia, and every day we're going to read a couple sections, and that's going to help us better understand our text, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start reading now, and let me just shrink myself over here. All right, we are going to read the first two sections today. That's the first day, so about Asia and famous places. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading. All right, let's go down here. About Asia. What is that called, guys? What text feature? Shout it out. A heading. About Asia, that's our heading. So this whole section is going to be facts about Asia, right? About Asia. A continent is a huge area of land. Oh, a continent, that's a text feature? A keyword. Good, it's a keyword. Remember, if I didn't know what a continent was, I could go to my glossary on page 30 and look it up. Okay, so if you're on Myon, or if you read this book on Myon later, you can flip to the glossary, all right? Or we can go ahead and flip there now, and I can show you. It just takes me a while to get there. Hold on. So we got to go all the way to page 30. I found that in my table of contents. So a continent, right here in my glossary, a continent is one of 7 huge areas of land on Earth. So that was able to give me a definition of what a continent was. I know it's one of 7 huge bodies of land on Earth. Okay, so we have Asia's 1, Europe, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, South America, and North America. And we live in North America on that continent, okay? All right, a continent is a huge area of land. There are 7 continents on Earth. This book is about the continent of Asia. Asia is the biggest continent. Wow, looks like it. Look how big that is. Asia stretches from the Mediterranean Sea in the west to the Pacific Ocean in the east. To the north is the Arctic Ocean. In the west, Asia is linked to the continent of Europe. Wow, so look at all the oceans it's surrounded by. We have the Arctic Ocean up here, the Pacific Ocean over here, and the Indian Ocean over here. And it borders Europe over here on the west. So Asia fact file. Area, about 16,919,000 square miles. Population, a population is how many people live there. More than 4 billion, that is a lot of people. Number of countries, 50. Wow. Highest mountain, Mount Everest at 29,035 feet. Well, that's also the tallest mountain in the world. Longest river, the Yangtze, at 3,915 miles. Wow. So number of countries, 50. North America, where we live, we only have 3, Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Now, the United States has 50 states, but only one country, right? So there are 50 different countries just in Asia alone. That's a whole lot of countries. All right, let's keep reading. Famous places. That's what text feature is that again? A heading, good job. Asia has many famous places. Some are very old. The Taj Mahal in India was built more than 400 years ago. The Emperor of India built it as a tomb for his wife. Oh, so those are 2 what? Keywords. Good job. Remember, if you don't know the definition, you can flip back to a second ago when I went to the glossary and you can go look at them, okay? Now, what is this? Words inside of a text box. Good. So this is a text box. The beautiful Taj Mahal is built from white marble. Wow. And then what kind of text feature is this? A picture. Good job, guys. Some famous places are very modern. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the United Arab Emirates, opened in 2010. It's almost 2,720 feet high. The tallest building in the world. Wow, that's the tallest building in the world. It's 2,720 feet. That's a whole lot of feet. So inside the Burj Khalifa are apartments and offices. Can you imagine if you lived all the way up at the top? I bet you wouldn't be able to see the ground most days because of the clouds, right? Great. So if you are reading on day 1, you're going to stop here. Day 1, stop here. Okay. All right. Day 2 picks back up here. Geography. Geography is what? Text feature? Good. A heading. Asia has many different landforms. The Himalayas are found to the north of India and Nepal. They are the highest mountains on Earth. Mount Everest is the world's highest mountain. It stands at 29,035 feet tall. What is landforms? What text feature? A keyword. Good job. Words in a box? Text box. Good. Many climbers visit the Himalayas every year. This is a picture. This is a map. Good. So it kind of shows us where the Himalayas are. Right here are the Himalayas. There are enormous deserts in Asia. The rocky Gobi Desert lies in China and Mongolia. It is very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. The sandy Rub al-Khali Desert is in the Arabian Peninsula. Text box, right? One-humped camels live in the sandy Rub al-Khali Desert. One-humped camels, not two-humped, right? Here's another map and a picture. Good. The Yangtze River in China is the longest river in Asia. It flows for 3,915 miles from the mountains in western China to the East China Sea. Millions of people live along the riverbanks. The Yangtze River is very important for food, water, food, and transportation. Oh, it's so pretty there. Look at all those mountains too. What kind of text feature is that? A text box. Good. All right, we have another one over here too, right? Another text box. Asia also has many large banks. The Caspian Sea between Asia and Europe is the biggest lake on Earth. It covers 143,000 square miles. It is called a sea because the water is salty. More than 130 rivers flow into the Caspian Sea, including the Volga River. So you're going to stop here on day 2, okay? And you're going to tell me about what you learned from the maps. And so these text boxes can also be captions, right? So you can tell me what you learned from the captions, okay? This is where day 3 reading starts, okay? Day 3 reading. Weather. Weather is a heading, good. Asia is so big that it has a wide range of weather. There are rainforests in Southeast Asia. They lie around the equator. What is that? A keyword, good. Where it is always hot and wet. In the far north of Russia, it is freezing cold year-round. Ooh. It is so cold in Siberia, Russia, that the ground is always frozen. Oh my goodness. So right here, this map is showing us, what is it showing us? It's showing us wetland, the desert, and the cold. So this area is desert, right? This green area is going to be wet, and this other part right here is this frozen part will be cold, okay? Each year, monsoon winds bring heavy rains to countries such as India. Some parts of Asia are hit by fierce storms called typhoons. These can cause flooding that can wash away people's homes and crops. Ooh, monsoon and typhoons. Now those are keywords, right? So we can look them up in our glossary. Let's go do that. Monsoon and typhoons. Let's go see. All right, a monsoon is a wind that brings heavy rains, okay? Myself. And typhoons are fierce storms that bring strong winds and heavy rain. Okay, so fierce storms that bring strong winds and heavy rains, and a monsoon is just wind that brings heavy rains, but the typhoons are the storms that bring it, right? So now I know the difference and I know what they mean, so I can go back to my text. Okay. Typhoons cause terrible damage in the Philippines. Oh my goodness, it kind of looks like a hurricane, right? Some of the hurricane damage that we see. Animals. Many animals, amazing animals, live in Asia. Orangutans live in the rainforest on the island of Borneo and Sumatra. Komodo dragons live in Indonesia. They are the world's biggest lizards and grow up to 10 feet long. Look how big they are, 10 feet long. That's almost the size of an alligator, right? Komodo dragons live on a few islands in Indonesia. Giant pandas live in South Central China. They mostly eat bamboo. Giant pandas are very rare. Today, there are only about 1,500 left in the wild because their forest homes are being cut down. Giant pandas are easily to spot with their striking black and white coats. Oh, they're so pretty. Look at that. So this is where day 3 reading stops. Sorry, I know I said that before, but this is where day 3 reading stops, okay? Plants. Mangrove swamps grow along the coast of India and Bangladesh, where the river flows and the ocean into the ocean. The trees have long roots to help them keep a firm hold in the mud. So plants is a heading. Swamps is a keyword. Good. A huge forest. Oh, I missed a caption, a text box down here. Large mangrove swamps grow around the Bay of Bengal. So you can see the mangrove is where the trees grow in the water. A huge forest of pine, fir, and larch trees stretches across the north of Asia. Warm, wet rain forests grow in Southeast Asia. The rafflesia is a rainforest plant. The giant flower smells like rotting meat. Ew, look how close they are to it too, and it smells like rotting meat. Giant rafflesia has the biggest flower in the world. Look, it must not bother them, or maybe they're used to the smell. Natural resources. Asia has many natural resources. Much of the world's oil comes from the Middle East. The oil comes from under the desert. The countries in the Middle East sell their oil around the world. Selling oil has made them very rich. These oil wells are in the desert in the Middle Eastern country of Qatar. There are many farms, both large and small, across Asia. Rice is grown in the flooded fields called paddy fields. Farmers also grow tea, rubber, wheat, cotton, and sugarcane. Many farmers in Asia still harvest crops by hand. So we have a lot of machines that harvest all of our plants. In Asia, they still use their hands, is what it says. Which I think they would have to. Look, they have to stand in like water to harvest the rice. People. More than 4 billion people live in Asia. This is about 3 out of every 5 people on Earth. China and India are the most crowded countries. Very few people live in Mongolia. People crowd along the banks of the Ganges River in India. All right, remember, what is this called? A heading. And what's this? A text box or a caption, and this is a picture. Good. The people of Asia speak thousands of different languages. Many people speak more than one language. More than 1 billion people speak Mandarin Chinese. Some local languages only have a few speakers. Here. This is Chinese writing. The letters and sounds are called characters. What is this called again? A heading. Good. Culture and sports. Many colorful festivals take place across Asia. Each spring, Japanese people celebrate when the cherry trees blossom. They visit parks and see the cherry trees, light lanterns, and have picnics under the trees. These people in Japan are enjoying the beautiful cherry blossoms. Look how pretty those trees are. Many sports are played in Asia. Cricket is very popular in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. Martial arts such as judo and kung fu are common in Japan, China, and North and South Korea. Many people play cricket in India and Pakistan. Now, I don't really understand cricket a whole lot. I don't know all the rules of it, but I know that it's kind of like baseball with different rules, but they still pitch a ball, and then you hit the ball with this bat or paddle. And I heard somewhere that one game can last up to like 3 days. Like they just keep playing. It's pretty crazy. All right, countries. What's this again? A heading. Good. There are 50 countries in Asia. The smallest country is in the Maldives. It's a group of tiny islands in the ocean. Indonesia is made up of more than 18,000 islands. It is the world's largest group of islands. Wow, that's a whole bunch. So you can see right here, all of the countries are labeled for us. So all of this up here is big land is Russia. So all of them are labeled, and right here we have a list of all of the countries and a map that shows kind of where each country goes, right? So 26 is right here, and 26 over here tells me that it is Sri Lanka. Okay, so this map shows the countries of Asia. All right, put myself back down here. Down here, China is the biggest country that is just in Asia. Russia is bigger, but only part of Russia is in Asia. The other part is in the continent of Europe. Turkey is also split between Asia and Europe. This photograph shows the government buildings in Beijing, the capital of China. Countryside and cities. In the countryside of Asia, many people still live in small villages. Some villages do not have running water or electricity. Each year, many people move from the countryside to cities to look for work. The small village is in Thailand. Many people who live there get food and money from fishing. Asia has some very big, crowded cities. Among the biggest are Shanghai in China, Mumbai in India, and Tokyo in Japan. This crowded street is in Tokyo, the capital of Japan. Look how many people are right there. It kind of reminds me of New York City, right? All right, so that's where it ends. You guys can keep reading some fun facts if you would like to. And there's a quiz that you can take to see how well you remember the book. And remember, this is our glossary. Our glossary is where we can go if we don't know a word, right? And an index is kind of the opposite. It shows me where if I want to look up animals, it tells me animals are mentioned on page 9 and then also 14 through 15. If I want to know more about the Himalayas, I have to go to page 8. So it kind of shows me what page to go to if I want to learn about these specific things, right? All right, guys, so make sure you answer all of your questions for your assignments, and if you have any questions, let me know. This book is also on Myon, and I listed it under your projects, okay? Have a great day.